Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In. I am here with my good friend, and I hope yours, Justin. How are you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good, Nick. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing, man. I'm
Doing
not gonna
the
lie to
same.
you guys. These past few days have been pretty frustrating. I ended up having to go into work yesterday because I
Oh,
just don't have uh, I don't have people worth a damn. That's right, Bobby. That's right. 23-16, Steelers over the Bills. Let's go. Um, can't rely on managers. And then today, same thing. Um, I didn't have to work today, thankfully, but I had to go there to give my key to the person that was working, and it's just frustrating. Been at work for 7 days straight, and then I'm gonna have to go do it starting tomorrow for another 5 days, so 12 days straight of being at work, and it's not fun. And yeah, yeah. So, but how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Job interview. I feel confident with it. Still got to hear back from them. Life's good though. Life is good. Hello, everybody. By the way, I forgot to say hello to you all. I hope you're all doing well. So, but I'm sending
Yes.
nothing but positivity and positive vibes to you, Nick. So,
Well, thank you,
a
thank
lot of
you,
love. You're welcome.
Matthew, Ken, Rudy, Bobby, Wes, Jose. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
I have the fog overlay on there just because I didn't even think to do an overlay. But the fog's overlay is spooky, So whatever. We're talking
And,
James Wan. James Wan's spooky.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the frog's classic. I mean, we're
Yeah.
good with that. So it's
What's
a good
up,
one.
Sam?
So, but
All
I
right.
think that I was talking to you. We'll get into it, but I was talking to you before this, and I will say this: my ratings have changed on some of these movies, and I think soaking everything in, things have changed. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, Alex, what's up? Everybody that's here and everybody that trickles in as we're going, and everybody that watches on the playback. Um, make sure you leave a like if you're here right now. Go ahead and sound off in the chat. We love to engage with you guys when we do these. This is an open discussion. We talk about our opinions on it and whatnot, but we like to involve you guys as well. If you guys notice, I'm rocking no hat today because I got my hair cut, so I feel and look a little bit more like a normal person. That does not mean I won't be wearing hats. I'm probably still going to wear hats all the time, but regardless. What's up, T Parker?
Hey, T
Man,
Parker, what's going on? Hey,
yes,
Jose,
yeah.
how are ya?
Well, no, actually, T Parker, I'm salary. So every time I have to go in, it's free. I get paid for a set amount of hours every week. So everything I work over that is just free. It's great. It's great. Love it. Jose, what's up? What remake would you think James Wan would knock out of the park? Oh man,
That's a
knowing his style.
I what I want
If you
to, you know
got one, you
what?
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think, and it could be really much anything, but like a Stephen King remake or adaptation, I think he'd be really good at. I know he's producing Salem's Lot, so I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
that. Um, or one that they were gonna talk that was in talks for the longest time, was the movie The Entity. He wanted to do a remake of it. I don't know if he was gonna direct it, but I think produce it. But I think he would do a great job there.
Yeah. Um, See, for me, it's hard because you would think that like the first thing you gravitate to is paranormal with James Wan,
Yeah.
and then he threw that out the window with Malignant. You got a totally
Mhm.
different movie, so he can do, and he can
Yeah.
do any type of horror. But honestly, I think that I think he could do a new. I think he could do a good nightmare movie. I do.
Good one. Oh, I
I do
like
think he
that.
could. Because, you know, in
Or
the Nightmare movies, playing with the dreamscape and more supernatural, I think he could do really well with that.
or a Hellraiser movie. Like I would be down for a Hellraiser one too.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's good.
Anything James Wan has his name attached to, I'm gonna watch it.
Me
Like,
too. He's
and
one of the best.
speaking of, oh, Jose says the Prowler.
Ooh, that's a good one, Jose. I like that. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you.
Yeah, West, I agree. He could make Freddy scary again.
He can.
Really quick, guys. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a little bit as we're going through each movie. There's two things I want to mention. One, we both watched Malignant. We're not going to spoil things for you guys. Don't worry. Not, you know, if you haven't seen it yet. If you have, let us know in the chat what you thought of it. It's definitely creating quite the chatter online. Let's just say that. And then two, Jose mentions Death Sentence.
Ooh,
Believe it or not, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's one of his best. One of his best.
What kind of movie is it?
It's a revenge flick. So it's a revenge action type flick. More revenge, but it is awesome. Like I wish that movie. I'm glad it has love out there, but I still think that is a very underrated movie. So highly recommended.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
First of all, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week, buddy. I really appreciate that. We love that we're your favorite live stream.
Thank you.
Because we're just two dudes sitting in front of a camera. So the fact that you love listening to us gab is awesome. I appreciate that, buddy. Awesome supporter of the channel. You do way too much, much for me. I love that. Love you, buddy. Hope you enjoy the conversation today. Wes says he still needs to watch it. Haven't watched your horror news yet. Yeah, that video is doing really well, actually. I think it's got like 400 and it hasn't even been up for 24 hours. So I was surprised by that. I just wanted to talk about some of the news. My thoughts on Halloween going to Peacock. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Justin's not a fan either. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I understand why. I understand that in the times we're living in, regardless of your, opinions or whatever on that, there are a lot of people that want to watch things from home, whether it's about them wanting to stay safe or whether it's them, just convenience sake. Regardless, there's a lot of that. And so I get that Halloween, Universal was like, well, we want to offer it to both because we don't want to be. I think their thinking was they're trying to get more subscribers for Peacock, obviously. Mm-hmm. So it drives up subs. And then two, maybe you're going to get more viewers because the option is at home. But I don't like it because it's going to cut into the box office. Never been a fan of that idea because Halloween Kills was going to be a movie that was going to open to 50 million. I really, really believe that. And now it's probably looking at like 35. And I'm not a big fan of that.
I mean, I have a couple reasons why I don't like this. What you said, box office wise, I personally don't even think it's going to do 35 now. I really don't. I hope it does. I hope people go see it, and I totally understand if you're still weary and not comfortable going to the theater. I totally understand that. I'm just looking at it as just the box office, and I'm also looking at it as the people that work so hard on this movie, like cast, crew, writers, everybody, like I just wanted to do well for them. That's all. I just wanted to do well. Really, really do. And I was looking at Malignant's box office this weekend, and it only made in theaters $15 million on a $40 million budget. And for me, that's heartbreaking. We'll talk about the movie, but that's just heartbreaking, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. But yes, Rudy, that's right. We're streaming high atop Antonio Bay.
Hey, Ken, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. We love you.
So let's see here. T. Parker Malignant is a hit or miss, but I can see it as a cult classic. Yeah. Halloween Kills should have a theater exclusive for 2 weeks. Yes. Ken being a smartass. Gotta love it. I can only imagine the coin. Yeah, I know, right? Cancel Peacock. Okay, so I didn't cancel it because she won't let me, because she watches some shows on there and it's not too expensive, so it is what it is. I totally understand that, Bill, and I agree. By the way, Bill, I just want to say really quick, I want you to pick a topic for us to talk about on a Monday. I want you to give us a topic because you are a kick-ass supporter of this channel, and I want to shout you out and talk about a topic you want to talk about. So I'm just letting you know, if you don't have one right now, think of it and let me know what you would like to see on a Monday, because I'd love to do a topic for you. But I got 2 screens, guys, so I'm trying to go back and forth. But,
I got one, so I'm looking at the comments right now. So
yeah, Prodigy, I have not seen Escape Room 2, but we were talking last night about it. It's about to come home. Like to on demand. I think this weekend. And she was like, we can rent it. And I was like, sure. And I think I saw an article from Bloody Disgusting today that says it is it's coming home with 25 minutes of unseen footage, extended, like added on to the movie. Ben. I will tell you right now, be open-minded. Okay? If you're seeing Malignant right now, the trailers are absolutely positively trying to throw you off. The trailers don't tell you poop about this movie. Okay. You have no idea what you're about to get into. May God have mercy on your soul. I hope you enjoy it. I loved it. Justin he loved the third act. But yeah, once you get to the third act, man, throw your expectations out the window. This movie is balls to the wall. So
I was like, I was in the theater with a buddy of mine, and that third act happened, and I said, "What am I watching like right now?" Like it was, I loved the third act. You know what, guys? Here's the thing. Here's the thing about it, and I love you all, but y'all tell me that I love everything. Well, here's a movie that I don't love, but soaking it all in. I have respect for things now. I don't love it, but we'll talk about it.
It's all right. It is not one that you have to see in theaters, Wes. I don't think so. But I think the experience would be pretty badass in the theater because, oh man, that third act. Lot of dead people. A lot going on. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it would be better in the theater?
I think so. I mean, I personally think so. I mean, I think the third act is like if you're gonna see this movie for the first time, I really think a theater experience would be pretty awesome, because I was in the theater with a buddy of mine going, "What the heck is going on right now?" That third act was amazing. So
yeah. What movie are we most looking forward to seeing right now? Look, it was Scream for me for a really long time, and I think it's become Halloween Kills again. Because the more I learn about Halloween Kills, the more excited I am for it. I mean, I really think that myself and all the other hardcore fans of the Halloween franchise are just going to be living for this movie. Everything I've heard about it, it just seems like it's going to nail it. So I don't know. Let's just say it's a tie. It's Scream and it's Halloween Kills.
I'm going to go Scream for next year, Halloween Kills for this year. But you know what is a very close second for this year after Halloween Kills is Last Night in Soho. Like, I cannot wait for that movie. That looks great.
That looks interesting.
Antlers too.
All right, guys. Yeah, Antlers does look good. All right, guys. So we are going to go. And we're not going to go. That's not what I mean. We're going to go ahead and talk about James Wan. Each of us is going to start with our least favorite horror film of his that he's directed to our favorite. We're only doing 7. Death Sentence isn't in here, but I wanted to talk about it at the top because Jose wanted to talk about it. So, having said that, let's get right into it. Justin, what is your least favorite James Wan?
All right, guys. So you got to realize this list is overall really tough for me. So
not the last one, though.
Not the last one. But number 7 for me is Malignant. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I'm gonna get people for this one, but if I'm gonna be honest, it's Malignant. Now, I will say this: when I initially rated this movie, I gave it a 2 out of 4. I had just seen the movie. I had just walked out of it, maybe like 2 hours. I made the video 2 hours after I walked out of the theater, and I didn't fully soak it in. So I'm giving this movie a 2.5 out of 4. As far as the pros for this movie, James Wan, did an overall great job with it. I think his directing is always great. I think there's some really good shots in this movie. I love a lot of the inside of the main house, the way he directed that. I love the outside shots. He does a great job making a movie eerie, and I love the directing. Practical effects. This movie had some great practical effects in this movie. I was really, really happy with them. It's a gory movie. It's got the gore there. It's got the great practical effects. Third act is amazing. I'll say that. I was a big fan of the third act. If we did not have the third act, this probably would have been a 2 out of 4 for me. Some of the things that I didn't like, and again, I might watch it later and appreciate it a little bit more.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying. I would not lie to you, Nick. I love you. I love you, buddy. But
you say that now.
The writing. The writing is the biggest flaw for me with this movie. I feel like, again, before we get to the third act of the movie, I think the writing's meh to bad. I think it's got some really cheesy one-liners in this movie. It's got some cheesy moments, and I was not expecting Conjuring or Insidious or anything like that. So if anybody's gonna say that to me, I was not expecting that. I appreciate a slasher film. I appreciate a giallo movie. I love those two subgenres, but the writing was definitely the weakest part for this movie. And the acting, not so great. I think the lead actress was pretty good. I thought she did a good job in this movie. But everybody else, I just wasn't a fan. I think there's...
So let's put it best. Justin thinks Malignant is more like Malignant.
Malignant. There we go. But you know what, guys? Here's the thing. I don't think James Wan directs a bad movie. I do not hate this movie. If people think I hate this film, I don't hate this movie. I just don't love it as much as other people do. And we can all have our opinions. We can all, talk about it. But yeah, for me, it's number 7. So 2.5 out of 4, though. You got some great practical kills, some great practical effects, really good direction from James Wan. And I forgot to mention the music. Absolutely love it, even though I feel like they overused it sometimes.
So for me, this is really hard because all 7 of his horror films that he has directed, I would say there isn't one of them that is a bad movie, period. So I don't want anyone in the chat or in the comments coming at me or Justin during this, oh my God.
How dare you?
Listen, guys. I love all these movies of his. I think, as I told you guys, he's my second favorite horror director. That's a high honor. He just hits. He just strikes gold. That's just what James Wan does. Okay, I agree, William. So first and foremost, number 7 is Dead Silence.
Oh, wow.
And let me be frank with you guys and tell you why. I love Dead Silence. I remember watching that movie when it came out when I was a teenager, and it scared the crap out of me. I have very fond memories of Dead Silence. Love me some Donnie Wahlberg. Mary Shaw's creepy as hell. Having said that, I think that Dead Silence is easily one of his most poorly structured films, in the sense that it doesn't flow very well. And it doesn't flow very well because it's just like Saw, if we're being honest. He was a young filmmaker. There wasn't big budgets behind these movies. So it's a little choppy at points. It's a little, the editing's a little bit more like a music video sometimes than a movie. And the narrative can get lost a little bit, and the stakes don't seem as high when it's a little messier like that. This is just me nitpicking because I told you all 7 of his horror movies I love. But if I'm being honest, structure-wise, I think it's his weakest, structurally speaking, movie. I do. I love it. And, you know, people are probably already like, dear God, this guy's so wrong. I'm getting out of here. Ken says Mary Shaw's going to take my tongue. You know, she might. Not before I kiss her, though. Oh, dear God. That's foul. But yeah, so it's Dead Silence for me, guys. And having said that, that's a movie that I'd love to see a sequel to. So, you know, I'm nitpicking here. So don't come at me. I love all 7 of these movies. This is very hard for me.
I will not let Mary Shaw get you, by the way. If I have to kick her butt, I will. So don't worry.
Rudy says Mary Shaw is a babe. Yeah.
I think T. Parker, was it T. Parker? I think he agrees with you. I mean, it's on his bottom list. Hey, you guys will find out where I put that one. But
yes, Bobby, that's another thing I wanted to say really quick, because Bobby says in the chat, do I like the twist ending with the guy as the puppet? Yes, but that I had an issue with that once you get that reveal, because you go back and watch that movie and you're like, okay, she couldn't have done all of that if he was a ventriloquist. Like, clearly that was an actor actually doing it. And I get it. Obviously it's an actor, but like, you got to suspend disbelief a little bit, because you go back and you're like, how would you do that if that was just like basically a doll? But whatever. I don't know. Dead Silence. I don't know.
It's okay.
You know, I love it, but
I still love you. I
hope so. But all right, Justin, go for your number 6.
Number 6. This might be a little controversial. I don't know. But you know what? Again, James Wan is one of my favorite directors, so this list was hard to make. Insidious Chapter 2 comes in at number 6 for me. This movie, though, I gave it a 3 out of 4. Originally, I gave it a 2.5 out of 4, but I gave it a 3 out of 4 because first time I saw it in theaters, I wasn't too crazy about it. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't too crazy about it. Coming off of the first movie, I love the first movie, so I was a little let down the first time I saw it. And I think this came out 3 months or 2 months after The Conjuring, and The Conjuring I absolutely love it. So I was let down with this one. Like you said with Dead Silence, I feel like this is probably his most choppy movie. I feel like there's moments that kind of just jump from one scene to another. And it could have been explained a little bit more. But I really love that we got more of a backstory with is she called the Bride in Black? What is she called?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a name. I can't remember what her name is in the movie, but they describe her as I'll just say Bride in Black. I really like that backstory. I like that we got the family back. I like that we kind of saw a little bit of a scarier Patrick Wilson in this movie. Yeah, I just think this is a great one. I like, again, that they kind of gave a little bit more of a backstory to that villain. You got to see, like a great opening with a young Lin Shaye. So yeah, I just think this one's great. this is a great sequel. It's gotten better over time for me.
Okay. Y'all better be ready to get pissed off. Hey, what's up, Jaden? All right.
Hey, Jaden. Hey, Jay.
I rewatched the whole Conjuring universe, and boy, was I sleeping. You were sleeping, crying. Y'all are gonna be mad. Ken might understand though. I think Ken might be in my corner with this one. Coming in at number 6, Saw. Saw isn't even my favorite Saw film. I think there are 2 better films in that franchise. Maybe 3. But I would say that the first film has one of the greatest twists ever. But let's just be honest with ourselves. Like when we look back on Saw, it's not super well acted. It's like I know, small budget movie. They didn't think much of it. Very choppy. I don't know. I'm looking at these comments right now. It's just very. I love the movie, guys. Like I love the movie, but it's just very all over the place at times. And I like Ken says, I love the ending in the 3rd act, but Saw 3 is a stronger film.
Oh, yeah.
It just is. I think Saw 4, in my opinion, is a stronger film. And I think you can even make an argument for Saw 2 and Saw 6. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying if you made an argument for that, I wouldn't call you crazy. So, it's not the most well-made. It's not the most well-acted, well-structured film. Having said that, though, it is a modern classic in its own right. It started a massive horror franchise. It gave us Lee Wanell, and he's gone on to do some great things. Obviously Carrie Elway's like, come on, he's a great actor. But yeah, it's Saw, and again, like I said, I love all these movies, and it's hard for me. But if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be honest with myself. I want to give you I don't know what my actual ranking is. And for me, Jaden, for number 7, Justin picked Malignant. And then for number 6, he picked Insidious Chapter 2. For number 7, I picked Dead Silence. And number 6, I picked Saw. So yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. Whatever. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because people are going to be like, oh my God, hater. I'm not a hater. I love the movie. And I agree, Jose. It is fun. It's a fun movie. He's got 5 films that I think are just better made movies. So I digress. Justin, what's your number 5?
So, number 5, it's close to your number 6. Coming in at number 5 for me is Saw. So if I get hate for it, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Saw for me is definitely, it's in the top 5 James Wan horror movies, but I think there are 4 better films after this, and I think this one goes down for me just because when you watch it so many times, I just think it just goes down a little bit more. I don't know what it is. I think once you see it the first time, the first time you see this movie, just absolutely loved it when I first saw it. And I think it just goes down. I don't know if the word likability is the right word to use, but I just think it might be a little, I don't even say it's a little outdated. I don't even think that's the case. I just think.
No, Saw is definitely dated. It's definitely
dated. For me,
Yeah.
It's slightly outdated.
It dated
once you
itself
see it,
a little bit.
You what?
I said it dated itself a little bit, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. It's a great film in the franchise. It's in my top 4, top 5 of the Saw franchise. Like many people, Saw 3 is my favorite. I think that franchise has its up and downs after the first movie, but if you look at that trilogy, like for me, well, not a trilogy, but if it would have been a trilogy, it would have been a perfect trilogy because I think Saw 3 is definitely hands down the best one of that franchise.
Christian is in here in the chat just shitting on me. I mean, he is straight poo-pooing on me. First, he says Dead Silence is number 2. Now he says Saw is number 1. That's my 7 and my 6. He is absolutely tearing me to shreds. But perspective on this, guys, and for you too, Justin, because I know you feel this way.
Yeah.
James Wan is my second favorite horror director of all time. I mean, his movies have had that big of an impact on me. And if I'm being I'm being objective and subjective. Like objectively speaking, structurally, I think Dead Silence and Saw are the weakest when it comes to acting, writing, audio and video, quality. Like I think they are the objectively in those aspects the weakest. Now, that's not a knock on them though, because they're a product of their time. But and they're great movies. But this is James Wan, and I just think that he has some absolute bangers that I can't wait to talk about. Second favorite director. So, but go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was interrupting you, buddy. I'm sorry.
You're good.
But I was going to say, you what?
I just wanted to clear the air. I don't want Christian killing me.
Well, and Christian, by the way, wait till you see where I rank Dead Silence. But he's one of my favorite directors too, guys. And besides Malignant, which I think over time I'll appreciate it more. The rest of these movies, I had a hard time ranking some of these. But I think and you might agree with this, Nick. I think his directing and I think his writing and just everything overall has gotten better. With his later films. Like we all start somewhere. He did a great job with Saw, but his movies have definitely gotten better.
Yeah, I would agree. And like I said, I know you're not Christian. I know you're not. He wasn't like coming at me. I just was like, he was telling everybody what his were. I know. I just didn't want anyone to be like, yeah, Nick, you're a hater. I'm not a hater, I promise. But I know how Christian feels about Dead Silence and about Saw. And like I said, I'm a massive fan of both of those movies too. I have championed Dead Silence for a long time, but 7 movies. Crying, yeah, I think I have Zombie as my number 5 or my number 4 director, if I remember correctly. Now, granted, guys, that one, that's just opinionated, but 2, it's also I haven't seen some of these directors enough. Like Fulci, for example, is a guy that Christian and Justin and people have really been getting on me about checking out more of his movies. So there are directors that I know make some bangers. But Romero, Romero's a guy that any given week I could have put in my top 10. And I'm not even a big zombie movie guy, but he's just that good. But yeah, I do have Zombie on the list. I do, and because I don't think all the Zombies films are good. Okay, and Christian and I have already talked about. We're going to do a discussion on the podcast about Rob Zombie here very soon because I don't think all of his films are good. I really don't. You guys know how I feel about 31. Everybody in here has a running joke that I just secretly love 31. I don't, but yes. But we'll get into that. That's another topic.
Eric brings up a great point too.
Yes, he does.
It's hard to rate these movies when you love them all. Now, I don't love them all, but I think James Wan. I even had a hard time. You got to realize when I did my review for *Malignant*, I had a hard time reviewing that because I freaking love James Wan. And I respect him so much as a director. So again, for me, there's not a bad movie from him, but yeah, I had a hard time reviewing that. So,
hey, Bobby, hey, I respect it. If you guys aren't zombie fans, he's an acquired taste for sure.
Yeah.
I will never tell you you're wrong for not liking his movies. Never. Well, and then Bobby says Devil's Rejects changed his opinion. Yeah, a lot. It did for a lot of people. 31 is getting that exclusive steelbook.
I'm excited for that.
I'm gonna buy it, but I don't need the bullshit from everyone when I buy it. I'm just kidding. It's just funny. But T. Parker only likes House of a Thousand Corpses. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Yeah, Jose, I was going to say you did seem new. You seemed new, buddy. First of all, I want to thank you for being in here.
Thank you, Jose.
Every subscriber of mine is, I value you all quite a bit. Sometimes a little too much. Sometimes I care a little too much. When I lose one, I'm like, what the hell? What did I do? Who did I piss off? But I appreciate that, buddy. I hope you're enjoying the chat so far. So I guess you went 5. You said Saw.
Number 4.
Christian says he's buying the Steelbook. He doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. Yeah,
hey, I'm buying it too, Christian.
I don't care what they think either. But Christian, there's this running joke between like a group of my subscribers in the chat every week. They're like, Nick secretly loves 31. It's his favorite horror movie of all time. It's his favorite Rob Zombie movie. He's going to go watch 31 as soon as he's done with this. So I just know it's just going to give them more ammo. Like, oh, see, you bought the Steelbook. Like, yeah, I bought the Steelbook because I am a supporter of Rob for sure. And I don't hate the movie. But anyway.
See, I'm the same way with Malignant people. Okay.
Yeah.
Same way.
Hey, no, Jose, no. We appreciate the love you give us by being a subscriber and being active in the chat, brother. All right, so what's up, Ali?
Oh, and by the way, Jose does talk about the 3 from Hell Steelbook. I'm tempted to pick that up too.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's just, and here's Ken. All right, anyway, it's not my favorite. Number 5.
He's really his favorite, guys.
Number 5 is going to be Insidious Chapter 2. And I want to say that a lot of people probably wouldn't have it this high. This is probably one of their least favorites. I mean, it's number 5, so it's, you know, the third least favorite, I guess. But that's it, Christian. That's it. I mean, it is. It pretty much is. The whole scene with the chainsaw dude and the it's weird, man. But
I don't think it's as worse for me, but I got to go back and look at
Christian.
My ranking.
I've never watched porn. I don't even know what porn is.
What is that? Anyway, what is porn?
Yeah.
What is that?
But yeah, number 5 is Insidious Chapter 2, man. And I think this sequel is better than some people give it credit for. I really do, because it's one of those sequels that was unjustly kind of trashed a little bit at the beginning when it first came out, because the first one was so good. So you see the second one and you're like, well, it's not a bad movie, but like, God, the first one was so much better. And it's like, well, one, most of the time, the first movie is better most of the time. And 2, I mean, you got to try new things with the sequel. I mean, you can't have Darth Maul's meth head cousin demon in it again. It was great. That was one of the scariest things that I when I watched the movie for the first time, and he's just behind Patrick Wilson. I'm like, what the? Yeah, it was terrifying.
I was goosebumps.
Yeah, I know. But it's just I think it's structurally, like story wise, I think it's a very, very good story. And I think that the acting, Patrick Wilson turns in a fantastic performance in this movie.
Yeah.
I think the bride's creepy. I really, really do. And there's a scene in this movie that's always stuck with me. And it's not even necessary. It's not like a jump scare. It's something that's always gotten under my skin. And it's when they're in the house and the tapping back and forth on the wall. And then they go in, they like slide the bookcase and like go into that secret room like behind the wall. And there's just dead bodies everywhere, just sitting there with sheets over them. And I'm just, every time I watch the movie, I'm like, dude, it probably smells so bad in there. Like, I know. That's what I think of. I'm like, dude, it smells so bad. And they're walking through there. And then you just, I don't know. It's a creepy scene. It's very effective. The movie isn't as scary as the first one. It's not as memorable. But I'll be damned if James Wan isn't a guy that really knows how to make a sequel. I mean, he really does. He really does. He's a guy that he can make a sequel. It's not going to be as good as his first one. It's most of the time. Well, he hasn't made that many, but that's just a general rule. Most of the time it won't be. But James Wan has a knack for putting out some pretty damn good stuff. Crying. The Bills were in the AFC Championship game last year. and we played them on the road in their house week 1, and we shut them up. Okay, so everybody thought we were going to suck. I knew we wouldn't. We're putting everybody on notice. All right. So anyway, go ahead, Justin. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say real quick. The one thing, and I forgot to mention when it came to Insidious Chapter 2, is I love we got more Barbara Hershey, because I love her as an actress, and I'm glad we got a little bit more with her character in this movie.
Yeah, but it's Insidious Chapter 2 again. It's a sequel I really enjoy. It's not even my least favorite Insidious movie. I think part 3 is my least favorite.
Okay, I'm walking out now. I'll see you later. Dropping the mic.
No.
I'm not walking. I'm not walking.
Oh, whatever, Bill. Yes, they should have. Their defense was insane. Defense, let's go. Anyway, but regardless, we won't talk about football because Justin will be lost and he'll be like, "What are we talking about?"
Hey, there's things I love about football, but we don't need to get into it.
I got you. So that's number 5 for me.
Talking about the food, people. The food.
Yeah, the food and the $10 beers. But Justin, what is your number 4?
All right, so this was tough, guys. My top 4 was really tough, but number 4 is Conjuring 2. I know. I don't know.
I'm really walking out now too. Like I'm really walking out. This is insane.
Conjuring 2 for me is a
no.
So okay, you know what?
No, go ahead.
What'd you say though? Like I was like
I just said no.
It's no. I'm sorry. So Saw gave a 3 out of 4. I forgot to mention that. Conjuring 2 gets a 3.5 out of 4. So it's very, very close. I love the sequel, guys. I love it. I loved it more in theaters though. And over time, just slightly, I feel like the movie can drag a little bit. Just a little. But it's got the great scares. It's got fantastic acting. Sorry, T. Parker. It's got Vera and Patrick, who I absolutely love. So there's a lot of things I love about this movie. This is one of the best sequels ever made. And sometimes that's really hard to top off a first movie. Sometimes sequels can be great, and sometimes sequels can be not so great. But I feel this is one of the best sequels. Again, for me, the only flaw is I think it drags a little bit. I think it was a little bit too long. But overall, that's it, guys. I'm crying. I'm not giving this a negative review. I love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. Valak is a creepy villain. Every time I watch this movie, she gives me chills. And it could be, just seeing the painting, like when you first see it, or that whole moment where Lorraine is in Ed's office and you see the shadow of Valak coming across the room and then stops at the painting. Like that stuff is creepy stuff. So, and then the Amityville opening, I absolutely love. So for me, guys, and I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I love you all. Much love. It's my number 4. It's my number 4.
Well, we're all wrong every now and then, and that's okay, Justin. I'm just messing with you.
I know,
guys. Justin is. It's actually because if you guys want to know the real reason, it's because years ago, Bill Wilkins told Justin no to going on a date, and so Justin has a grudge against Bill Wilkins now. And so any movie that has Bill Wilkins in it, which is The Conjuring 2, he's just like, no, it's not my favorite. I just can't because I don't like Bill Wilkins. And I understand it, Justin. I get it. I've been there. We've all been heartbroken before, but we gotta move on. And Bill Wilkins, I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
It hurt my feelings so bad, but I will say he scares the crap out of me in this movie. The scene where he's behind the TV, like every time I know it's gonna happen, but like when I can't remember what he screams out, but it freaks me out each time. Makes me jump.
What scene? By the way, Ken, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Love you too. Have a good night, brother.
Thank you, Ken. Have a good night, buddy. We love you. But no, I was gonna say the scene where the little girl's like turning on the TV.
Oh yeah,
and-
my house.
Yes, that freaks me out each time. So
Just right there, my house. I'm like, what the fuck? No, yeah, no, that got me too.
Thank you, Crime. Thank you.
So, my number 4, right? That's where we're at, 4.
Yeah, number 4.
Malignant. And this is subject to change, but dude, Malignant is something. It really is something. And yeah, dude, T. Parker, just wait till I talk about The Conjuring 2, because that's literally one of the scenes that I always think of with The Conjuring 2. Take my hand. Anyway, Malignant is my number 4. And I think that is because, one, I was shocked to see James Wan do something other than a supernatural, paranormal type movie, first of all. First and foremost, there's that. And do it well. He attacked making a slasher. Right, it's a slasher. And there are some CGI scenes in it that I'm not a fan of, but some of the practical effects, the body contortion, the body horror, and just the high body count, like he made a damn good slasher. For a guy that has never made a slasher, he made a damn good slasher. I think the killer is memorable. I think the twist reveal, I think the reveal is better than the twist itself, in the sense of the twist is incredible. Like, it's incredible. It's something that you're like, dude, what the hell what is happening? Like,
I know.
I did not see that coming. I didn't see it coming. And I'm guys, don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm keeping this very vague. So like the twist itself is like, whoa. But the reveal of the twist, how they give you that twist, you're like, oh, gross. Like, it's just like, what is it's? I don't know, guys. I wish I could talk more about it. I just want to wait for everybody to see it. Don't worry. But it's awesome. It's awesome. I loved it. And that's awesome, Jose. I'm glad you loved it. And get her into horror, okay? Make her a horror cinephile like the rest of us nerds, because that's what we do here. But dude, I had a blast with it. I mean, I had a blast with it. I thought it was so cool. It was the music too. At first, I was like, this is weird. This is weird. And then once you get the vibe of the movie, it doesn't seem weird anymore. The first act, you're getting some of that music. It's like that upbeat kind of campies, 80s, 90s type like music in moments where it doesn't seem like it fits. And then once you find out what the film actually is, not what you were expecting it to be, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that fits. I just think that the movie was so original too. I mean, it is so original. It's like, I've never seen anything like it. And there's a lot of talk, and I wanted to mention this when we got to it, because you were talking about it earlier, Justin. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk about Malignant being a flop. And everyone's like, oh, it's a flop. Warner Brothers is probably, pissed off and pissed out. Oh, yeah. And James Wan, he tried something new and it failed. No, I don't think it is. It made 15 million opening weekend worldwide. So it made 10 million overseas. I'd love to see the breakdown on that. I can't wait till the numbers come out so I can see the breakdown of where most of that money came from. Because clearly there's some region of the world that wanted to go see Malignant more than the US. And so whatever, 15 million opening weekend, $40 million budget. It's probably going to end up. Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I didn't mean. I was interrupting you, buddy. So I'll.
No, you. Okay. All right. Okay.
You're good. No, keep going.
I loved Candyman crying. Justin was a pretty big fan of it too, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
I loved it. Loved it.
But yeah, so it's probably going to end its run worldwide, probably somewhere around 30 million or so, give or take, on a $40 million budget. It loses a little bit of money, but at the same time, does it really? Because you got to wonder, with all the views on HBO Max, how much money will that translate to? So it's probably just going to end up being a movie that was a wash. It didn't lose Warner Brothers money. It didn't make Warner Brothers money. It's just kind of like, eh. There's a reason for that, though, guys. I think that can't be understated. The reason for that is the marketing for this movie was terrible. The marketing campaign was absolutely awful. They didn't show us a trailer till a month before it came out. No pictures, no trailers, no nothing till a month before it came out. So you're already off to a bad start. And then the stuff that you do get, the one trailer that you get, is very not true to what the movie is at all. It makes it look like it's a supernatural film. And this isn't a spoiler, guys. I'm just letting you know. The trailer is completely throwing you off. It is not what it looks like at all. And the marketing campaign was so weird. And I think that Warner Brothers was pretty much just like, they did this. They weren't trying to have this be a huge hit. I think what they were doing was they were doing what James Wan wanted to do. I think he approached them and was like, I have this really interesting idea. It might not land well with a lot of people. But you know, I'm really passionate about doing this, yada, yada. And he's made multiple movies. He has made Warner Brothers over $3 billion because The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, and then that entire universe that he's a part of has made over $2 billion. And then Aquaman made over $1 billion. So he's responsible for $3 billion into that studio. So they're going to let him do whatever the hell he wants. And I think that's what Malignant was. They didn't expect it to be a big hit. But regardless, I digress on that. I think Malignant was awesome, and I'm putting it at 4. But what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say this. I think if we did not have a pandemic, and I understand if you're not comfortable enough to go to the theaters, I totally get it. If you watch it at home, that's awesome. At least see the movie. But I think if we did not have a pandemic, I think this would have been a bigger hit. I think all Warner Brother titles this year are being affected by it. Even the big budget ones are going to be affected by what's going on with the same day streaming and theatrical release. I mean, you know, it is what it is. And again, we're in a pandemic, so, you know, if you don't feel comfortable going to the movie theaters, I understand that. But I think it would have been a bigger hit at the box office if we did not have a pandemic. So
yeah, it would be. And the only way we're going to really get the specs on this, like how
no.
Yeah, well, we need to know the viewership on HBO Max. That's what I want to know.
That's all I want to know.
Let me see how many people watched it.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I loved it, guys. It's my number 4 James Wan film, and because the dude just doesn't miss. He just doesn't miss, in my opinion. And yeah, crying. Same here. I watch Hulu Live TV. Okay, I have Hulu Live TV because I watch. You know, I like to keep up with certain shows. I like to be able to have access to the news. I like to be able to have access to like American Horror Story and stuff like that. So I just did live TV. That way I could watch that stuff too. And sports, mainly. And I never saw a Malignant TV spot. Never. I only saw a trailer on Twitter when it was released. And then when I went and saw Candyman. That was it.
Look, and I have streaming services. I ain't downing streaming. But I don't like how these newer movies are being affected by this same day streaming stuff. These movies deserve so much better. And again, we're in a pandemic, so I don't want to criticize that, but I just don't. And I'm not criticizing that, but I just don't like the fact that these movies are being affected like they are. We can't control it. I understand that. But it's just sad. It's sad for me to see these movies don't do as well. And like you said, if Warner Brothers would just let us know how they're doing on HBO Max, maybe I'd be a little bit happier. So
yeah. What's up, Drew? No, not Wish Upon, Drew. Yeah, Wish Upon 2, directed by James Wan.
Wish Upon, freaking Wish Upon.
Yeah, he keeps trying to get me to watch it because he knows it's terrible and he wants me to see how bad it is. I try to avoid movies like that most of the time. I still have yet to see The Bye Bye Man because I didn't hear a single good thing about that movie. I don't know.
I saw it twice. First time I liked it, I said, I don't get the hate for this. And then I rewatched it again. I said, this movie sucks. I'm like, now I understand the hate for it.
Okay, good.
A movie you need to see is The Empty Man. I think it's on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, it is. And we watched a trailer for it, and she was like, "Eh," and I was like, "I'm gonna watch that." Yeah.
Watch The Empty Man.
I'm watching
it, guys.
Yeah.
Watch it.
But top 3 now. Top 3, Justin. What is your number 3 on your James Wan film list?
My number 3 is Insidious. So, I love Insidious. I saw this in theaters. Didn't go into it expecting much because I don't think I really saw too many trailers. I think I just went into the movie and I was like, okay, I want to see this. And I love it. I still love this movie today. I think this movie is one of James Wan's best films. I think it's one of the scariest movies I've seen. I love the cast. Patrick Wilson, love him just all around in general. I love Patrick Wilson. Rose Byrne's great in this. Lynn Shay, I love Lynn Shay in this movie. And I love Lynn Shay in general. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, Insidious for me, it's a scary, scary movie. I like the directing. I like kind of the way the movie looks. It has like that gloomy feel to it. For me, it's a scary movie. I think it's not the scariest movie of all time, but I think it's a scary movie. And the scene that always gets me, we talked about it before, but it was the demon behind Patrick Wilson, but everything leading up to
Maul's meth head cousin.
Yeah. There we go. Everything leading up to that, like when Barbara Hershey is describing her dream and she goes into the room and she sees the thing in the corner, that stuff scares me. Like that creeps me out. So yeah, Insidious for number 3 for me is Insidious. This is a 4 out of 4 in my opinion.
What's up, Zach? What's up, Antonis?
Hello. What's going on, guys?
Number 3 is Insidious. I echo everything you said. Everything you said, I echo. I mean, I think it is I don't know. I just think that it's a very original, supernatural horror film, and you don't get those a lot. It seems like most of them are pretty straightforward. Oh, it's demonic possession. Oh, it's spooky ghosts. This was something different. I mean, The Further is just a really cool concept. And I love the scenes in this entire franchise that take place in The Further because it's very beautifully lit and shot. Lynn Shay carries this movie with Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne. I mean, they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
Wes asked us earlier, like scariest scenes in Conjuring and Insidious. Insidious' scariest scene for me is either the face reveal that we just talked about, or the scene where she is describing what she's seeing in the corner as it's getting darker in that corner, and Lee Wanell is like drawing it, and you think you're going to see something. And it's very suspenseful.
That is, oh my gosh, one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, sorry about, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I want you to feel like I'm feeling right now.
Because it's scary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then the scene where she's got the like gas mask on and she's like communicating, and dude, it's just a freaky freaking movie, guys. I don't know how else to put it. I just think it's well acted, well shot, well written, well structured. It's just a damn good movie. I mean, it's a perfect, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, however you rate your movies. It's like that for me. I don't have enough gripes with this film to really take the time to want to be like, well, if I'm being nitpicky, I could nitpick every damn movie in the world. And that includes my favorite movie, Halloween. Having said that, yes, oh my God, T. Parker, yes, the vampire looking dude standing behind the frickin' crib, that scared the crap out of me.
Yes. And the scene where Rose Byrne is laying in her bed and you see the guy walking back and forth out on the balcony, and then he comes into the room.
Yeah.
Scary.
He's just like,
Scary.
yeah, and freaking attacks her.
But you,
Yeah.
hold on. You talk real quick. I gotta show you guys something. I'll be right back.
So, guys, Justin is so wrong for putting The Conjuring 2 at 5. Was it 5? No, it was 4. It was 4. He is so wrong, and we should stone him. You know? So, yeah, Insidious, great movie.
Hey, J-Dub. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this. This is so cool.
What's up, Jay?
I met Lin Shay at a convention.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I had her say to Justin, "It's not the house that's haunted, ... And I had to get this image right here because you talked about that being a scary scene. That freaks me out each time I watch it. So, yeah. And yeah, love it.
Oh my God, Crying's trying to start stuff in the chat. When you walked away, I said, okay, guys, Justin is so wrong for putting The Conjuring 2 at number 4. And then you came back and I was like, so yeah, I love Insidious.
So this is what happens when I leave for a second. I see.
No, I'm just messing. I know. Brooke, by the way, thank you so much for that. The fact that you would want to do that kicks ass. I really appreciate that. I've got 2 patron exclusive uploads coming this week, and I know what both of them are, and I'm not telling you guys, and you can't get them out of me. But you'll see them over throughout the week. I'll have 2 patron exclusive uploads, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that's all I've got about my number 3.
Hey, we got one tied. This is pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, but we are not gonna agree on the next 2.
Oh gosh.
Maybe one of them. Maybe one. But Justin, number 2, what is it, my friend?
Number 2 is actually your least favorite, and that is Dead Silence. So, again, it's hard to rank these, so I understand. I know you said you love it, but for me, Dead Silence is one of those films from James Wan, like with my top 3 James Wan movies, that each time I watch them, I still love them. I don't have problems with the
record scratch. Hold on. All right, Jay, we're going to give you a recap real quick. So my going from least favorite to where we're at now was Dead Silence at 7, Saw at 6, Insidious Chapter 2 at 5, Malignant at 4, and Insidious at 3. Justin?
Number 7 for me was Malignant. Number 6 for me was Insidious Chapter 2. Number 5 was Saw. Number 4 was Conjuring 2. And number 3 was Insidious.
So that's where we are at right now. And now he's at Dead Silence. That's his number 2. Jose, thank you for being in here, my friend. Appreciate that. Have a great evening. And thank you for being a subscriber to the channel. So get back. You were talking. Yeah, the Amanda framed thing.
Yeah. Thank you. And she's again sweetheart. So yeah, Dead Silence for me. This one never gets old. This still scares me. Like there's some moments when I first saw this movie, I wish I would have saw this in theaters because I literally had to walk out of the room for a second. This one freaked me out so much. But I absolutely love it, from the directing to the writing to the acting to some of the really good scares in this movie. There's some just fantastic scares in this movie. And I love the set, like pretty much the whole set. But I love in the third act when we get to the theater and you get to see Mary Shaw, like all her dolls in the cases and everything. So good. And you know, there's moments in this that creep me out, but one of the moments that creeps me out is when it's the lead guy and it's Donnie Wahlberg, and they see the clown puppet sitting in the rocking chair, and it starts talking to the lead guy, and the puppet's like, "Come closer and I'll tell you." Like all that stuff gives me goosebumps each time I watch it. And I think Mary Shaw is such an underrated horror movie villain character. I and we talked about it earlier. I wish we would have gotten a sequel. I wish this movie would have done better at the box office. Because I think it deserved a franchise or a sequel at least. It just, yeah, I love Dead Silence. So for me, this is a perfect movie. This is a 4 out of 4.
Yeah, real quick, guys. I want to say something. If you follow me on Instagram, you already saw this, but I've got to give a shout out on this live stream for anybody that doesn't follow me on Instagram. My buddy, the man you guys know as JDevTV right there in the chat, is a absolutely fantastic supporter of my channel. First and foremost. Always been very supportive, very nice. This weekend, he did one of the coolest things that anybody has ever done for me. Ever. I had a horrible night at work on Friday. Busy. What's up, Catman?
Hey, Catman.
And I was stressed to the max. And I get on Instagram and I see 2 messages from him. And the first one says, "You're going to love me." And the second one is a video clip. And whose face is it? It's Danielle Harris. And I go, wait a second. He's at Horror Hound right now. Shut the fuck up. No way. No freaking way is this happening. I click on it. And it's a minute-long, personalized video message to me from Danielle Harris. I was
awesome.
I was so embarrassed at watching it because I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, like Danielle Harris is talking to me, like, oh no, like in a good way. It was like I felt like she was talking directly to me because it was personalized for me. I don't know. It was really cool. I was so honored. I was so thankful. I was so over the moon that he would think of me like that and be like, hey, I want you to do this for my buddy. And I know when you go to places like that, most of the time you have to pay them for stuff like that. So I'm sure he probably had to pay her too. Just to take the time out and the money and the effort to think of me while you're there meeting her in person and you think of somebody else. That's insane, man. Because I would be on cloud 9 if I was standing there talking to Danielle Harris and you thought of someone else. That is so selfless. That is so cool. Yes, it did sound like she thought I had a drive-in theater, but that's fine. I didn't care. Dude, it was one of the coolest things anybody has ever done for me. And you did not have to do that. Nobody ever has to do anything that they do for this channel and for me as a person. But my God, I was so thankful for that. And I just wanted to shout you out, buddy. I didn't care if it stopped the conversation right in its tracks. You deserved to be shouted out for that, because that is one of the kindest things you could do for somebody that you only know me like through YouTube and social media. But to think of me like that was really, really cool. And that was killer, man. That was killer. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you and I appreciate your support of me and of this channel, and that it does not go unnoticed. And I hope I never bore you or lose your support, because you rock, dude. You rock.
Awesome guy. J-Dev, you're awesome. Yeah, that video, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's so cool. No, not even cool. Just amazing. That was amazing.
And can we just talk about how amazing she looks at 44 years old? I mean, she looks.
She doesn't even look like she's in her 40s. Like,
no,
that's crazy. She
looks amazing. Danielle, I've always heard, is a sweetheart. And, so that was just so cool. I can't. I promise you, we are going to meet up at a convention one day, JDF. Like, it's going to happen. The only reason I didn't go to Horror Hound is because of a wedding that I have to. We've got a week and a half until the wedding, so I am very, very, very like stretched for cash right now. But I appreciate that, and I know we will eventually meet up at a convention. And I can't wait, man. Because that was kick ass. And thank you, man. Thank you, Eric, for saying that. I love you guys too. I appreciate all of you. You guys kick ass. This channel means everything to me, after my family. It's it's a hobby, but it's also, I don't know. You guys are awesome. Jay, I would have never asked you to cover for me at Horror Hound. Never in a million years. I appreciate that gesture. That is, again, like I said, you're a selfless dude. Like, you are just a good person. And that we need more people that are like that in the world, that are just genuinely good people.
We do.
So, I thank you, man. Thank you. Maybe next year at Horror Hound. I don't know. I know you're big into the convention circuit. I don't know what else is coming up over the next few months. If there's anything in the Ohio area, close to Ohio, let me know. Are there any big conventions that you guys know of coming up over the next few months in like Indiana, Ohio, anything like that?
Scarefest in Kentucky. Lexington, Kentucky. So
when is that?
End of October. So
okay. And
I'm planning to go. Hopefully things go well.
Are there some pretty big name people there?
Yep. There's some
give me some Halloween names. Who are some of the Halloween people there?
I think PJ Souls is going to that one. I could be wrong, but I think she's going to Scarefest. And I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Danielle Harris might be, or she's going to Fright Night Film Fest. I'll have to look at their list. I will definitely send that to you. But my biggest one is Bruce Campbell. I cannot wait to meet him.
Oh, so. I'm going. Days of the Dead too. Yes, that's in Chicago. That's not far from me. That's about 5 hours. By the way, everybody in the chat saying these nice things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. That means a lot. You guys are awesome. We love you guys. We do.
We love you guys.
Jay,
sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, you're not going to go to Scarefest in Lexington, or the next one you might go to is Days of the Dead. Let me know, because I think I might go to Scarefest. I think that'd be, what if in October, Justin and I got together in person twice to see Halloween Kills and stream from Scarefest? Wouldn't that be
cool?
Wouldn't that be something?
I would love that.
But yeah, that is a lot of travel, buddy. I get you. Yeah, I don't do it either. So, but all right, we're going to steer back, because as soon as we're done with the James Wan discussion, like we always do, we're going to open it up to the chat. So we are rounding. We're rounding third and heading home. My number 2 is The Conjuring. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say real quick. This is how much of an amazing person you are, Nick. If it wasn't for these streams, if it wasn't for doing these Monday and Tuesday streams together, I'll just say this: you're one of the reasons why you've made me fall back in love with YouTube. So,
well, I know, and you've told me that, and that means the world to me, because I've watched your videos for 10 years, over 10 years. So that's really cool. Your channel got me to do YouTube. You're one of the channels. So.
Well, thank you, but I give you huge props, because you're an amazing person. But just thank you for that. So
you anyway, rock. But yeah,
you too.
Number 2 is The Conjuring, and if you guys watched the You Need a Horror podcast episode that premiered last night on Christian Hannah Horror's channel, we talked about the Conjuring universe, and I mentioned how The Conjuring was the scariest theater experience I've ever had. And it still has remained the scariest theater experience I've ever had, because one of the only directors nowadays, I think, Mike Flanagan and James Wan can craft horror nowadays, and it's scary. But not a lot of directors can really do it anymore. And not only did James Wan craft a movie that was just damn scary, it was so memorable. It was everything I could have wanted out of a haunted house possession movie. The big budget feel, the great acting, the atmosphere, the cinematography, the music, Vera and Patrick's just their presence on screen, and that climax is just balls to the wall. Scariest theater experience I've ever had. That movie right there was when I was like, this James Wan guy, he can have my money for every movie he makes from here on out. I mean, I just I have The Conjuring. Very, very, very fond memories. I absolutely love this film. And crying. Yeah. I know that I have introduced some of you guys to Justin, and he's already talked about how he appreciates that. And I know he's introduced me to some people, and we love that. We love that.
Yes, we love you guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, Ali, I think that the Conjuring movies are rated R because there is a lot of material in it that is it's pretty freaky. Like it's stuff that you couldn't. I mean, could you really look at the climax of The Conjuring? Do you really think you could tell like a 10-year-old, you watch this, you'll be fine? Like, no. That came out in 2013. I was almost 19 years old when that came out, and it scared the crap out of me. So like, it's scary, but I digress. Justin?
Coming in at number one. Ooh, I had to do that. Coming in at number one is The Conjuring for me. So this is my favorite James Wan movie. Now, it does go back and forth between Dead Silence and Conjuring, but Conjuring, I think, just hands down, it is one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies. It's my favorite James Wan movie. Like you, I think this is the scariest movie I've seen in theaters. Like, I was freaked out when I saw this movie the first time. And shout out to Doug. I don't know if he's still in here. I saw his.
Yeah, I saw you in here earlier, Doug.
Love you, Doug. Love you. Yeah, we saw it in theaters. It scared me, and it's still a scary movie. Like, I get affected by this movie when I watch it still today. We talk about it all the time, but James Wan, directing wise, amazing in this. He knows how to direct great build-up scenes in this movie, like the hide and clap when the mom goes down in the basement. You got to build up there. The soundtrack is great. We don't have a lot of songs, but the songs are great in this movie. Cast is awesome. I love Vera and Patrick together. They have perfect chemistry on screen. I think it's one of the reasons why we keep going back to these movies. It's because we love to see Vera and Patrick on screen together. This movie has some really good scary moments in it, and sometimes it's not the stuff that you have to see in your face. It's what you imagine that you're seeing. Like with the scene we talked about with Insidious, when Lin Shaye is describing what she's seeing in the top corner of the room. The scene that always gets me the most in this is when the daughter wakes up and she sees something behind the door, and we're not seeing it, and no one else can see it, but she's seeing it. And the fear that she has on her face, the fact that she's crying, like, that scene still scares me today.
One of the most effective scenes in that movie.
It really is. Like, I love that moment. It scares me, but I love the moment. And I feel like this is one of those movies, and I could be wrong, but it's almost like when, if you go back to 1973, I know The Exorcist, you see a lot more, but it's like how that movie had an impact for people in the 70s when they saw it in theaters. I feel that way with The Conjuring. Like, I was scared when I saw this movie. Does that make sense? Like, it just has that impact, like The Exorcist did.
Absolutely. Without question, I think that this was in my opinion, but when you look at critical reception, audience reception, box office, this was the modern Exorcist. Just was. Yeah, it had that effect on a lot of people, on this new generation of horror fans. And by the way, Jay, yeah, man, we're never toxic here. We always talk to you guys. We always make you feel like you guys matter, because you do matter, because there's no point in us making this stuff if no one is going to watch it. We want to do right by you guys, and we want to make you guys happy. So absolutely, that is what we're here for, and we appreciate you guys
we really
more
do.
than you know. And no fake stuff over here, like Crying says. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
So all right, The Conjuring is Justin's number one. What is Nick's favorite James Wan film? Well, by process of elimination, You already know what it is, which is why I felt so hurt. So hurt. The Conjuring
Sorry.
2. The Conjuring 2 is by far and away my favorite James Wan. I wouldn't say by far and away. It is my favorite James Wan film. And there are levels to that. I think that The Conjuring 2 was one of those movies that I was so freaking hyped for because of what the first one did to me when I saw that in theaters and just the lasting impact it had on me. And I went and saw this one opening night and I was creeped out. You know, I was scared a couple times, but I wasn't as scared as the first movie. But I didn't walk out bummed out. I literally walked out and I was like, that wasn't as scary, but I feel like that was better. And I saw it again in theaters, and then I got it on Blu-ray. And you know, upon a few rewatches, I was like, yeah, I think that's better. The Conjuring 2 is, yeah, for me too, Jay. It's in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. It just is. I think the story, by the way, Jamie.
We love you, Jamie. I was going to say something.
I hope you start feeling better.
Feel better soon.
Yes. Take care of yourself. Okay. We don't need to be feeling like doo-doo. But the story is just so masterfully crafted, like in the fact that it's not just your straightforward haunted house or demonic possession movie. There are so many plot lines where it's, you know, Lorraine Warren dealing with her literal demon, Valak, and her personal demons with their work and worrying that it's going to be the end of Ed, basically, and maybe that they shouldn't do it. You know, so they're struggling there. You can see there's a little turmoil in the marriage because of that. And then juxtapose that with, you have this family and this little girl going through all this, you know, across the globe, across the pond, if we're being technical. And she's dealing with this, and it becomes this whole media thing, and it's basically like a circus. And you know, she doesn't want that attention, but all of these people from the outside think that that's exactly what she wants. And they're painting this picture of this girl that just isn't true. And all she wanted was help. She didn't want this media circus. She just wanted somebody to come help her and tell, like, what's going on? Figure this out. I'm just a kid. Like, I shouldn't be dealing with this. And so there are so many plot points that are touched on in this movie that I feel like it gives this movie such depth. And I think that this is Vera and Patrick's best performance in the Conjuring franchise, because I think this movie's more about them than the first one. The third one's a lot about them too, but I think that this one, there's just a lot of heart there. You know, I always harken back to the scene with Ed singing, you know, playing the guitar. It's Christmas time. You know, he's trying to give a lighthearted moment for these kids because of everything they're dealing with. He just wants them to smile. He wants them to feel safe, you know, feel calm for just a little bit. The holidays, you know, give them something to be happy about. And then just the drama at the end there. Oh my God, when you think that Ed might die.
I know.
Because the first time I saw it, I'm like, dude, he's going to die. He's going to die. James Wan already talked about that that this would be his last Conjuring film. So I'm like, dude, they're not going to make another one. Ed's going to die. There was a lot. There was just a lot about this movie that just hits on a visceral level for me. It's just very emotional. It's very deep. And I feel so bad for the little girl when she's talking to Lorraine outside and, you know, on the swings. And, you know, it's just, it's such a freaking, it's a deep movie. It's a deep movie. Everybody in the chat. Yeah, I get it, Bobby. I get it. Valak, yes, got in my nightmares as well. Yeah, the family getting the fuck out when they saw the dresser move. Yes, realistic as hell. What's up, Dennis?
Hello.
Yes, Vera is absolutely incredible.
She is.
But I don't know, man. For whatever reason, that movie just has always stuck with me. I think it always will stick with me. I just think it is a beautiful movie inside and out. I think that it throws you for expects things like, and Valak is incredibly creepy, But The Conjuring 2 is my number one James Wan film.
I'll say my favorite moment in The Conjuring 2, or one of my favorites, and you talked about it, is the scene where the little girl and Lorraine are talking in the backyard. Like, my heart always hurts for that little girl every time that scene pops up, because she just wants people to believe her. And
yeah, it's not even that she cares that the tabloids and the TV, you know, she doesn't give two shits about whether they believe her. You know, she cares that just someone that can help me, just someone believe me. You know, like
that's right.
It's just, and you feel so bad for her because she's just a kid. And I know when it comes to the Ed and Lorraine Warren's actual case studies, you know, there are a lot of skeptics, but Ed and Lorraine truly believed in their work and believed in what they experienced. And if you watch some videos with Lorraine talking about certain things, that just doesn't seem like a woman that's lying to me.
No, not at all.
That seems like a woman to me that she has seen some things in her life, and all she wants to do is help people. And yes, they eventually became absolutely. They definitely became. They were able to profit off of it. Of course, I mean that's your life's work. If you're able to then begin making money off of it, a decent amount of money off of it, sure, everybody would do that. But it just seemed like a person that just really wanted to help people. And you know,
no, that I was gonna say, like, yeah, I agree with. I think when it came down to anything, they wanted to help people, and you could tell that they wanted to help people. So, you know, no matter what you think, you know, they wanted to help people.
And I will just ask you, there is that I shudder to. No, I'm not going to phrase it that. I will just say this: there is the quote at the end of The Conjuring is so poignant and like stuck with me. It's something like, it's not like I'm paraphrasing here, but it's something like, you know, heaven exists, the devil exists. Basically, life is about which path you choose to follow, or something like that. And, you know, it was just like, I remember the first time I saw that, because I am religious. Like, I was raised religious. And so I don't go to church and everything like that, but I still believe in my core principles, and I believe in what I believe in. And so I do believe in evil. So seeing that is like, man, it like puts it in perspective. Like, imagine if, like, if I had gone through that as somebody that is a believer in that kind of stuff like that, that would shake you to your core. And I just didn't take them as people that were lying. I didn't take them as people that were trying to. I love the scene in The Conjuring 2 when they're on that talk show, and you know, Ed is getting berated by that doctor or what scientist, whatever he is, and Ed gets, you know, Patrick Wilson gets like mad, like he gets mad, and he almost cusses, and you know, Lorraine's like, he's like, academics. But you know, in that, I think that's a microcosm of who they were as people. They genuinely believed in what they did, and they cared, and they wanted to help people, and they hated when people would perceive it another way, because it's like, of course, there's always going to be skeptics. There's always going to be people that think that you have a hidden agenda, but they didn't feel that way, and they're the only ones that know their actual motives. So yeah, I'd get upset too if someone was telling me things, you know, putting words in my mouth and telling me that I'm being disingenuous. I'm lying. Like, you weren't there, bro. You didn't see what I saw. Like, but of course, you know, so it's just, I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I agree too.
But yes. So that's our ranking of James Wan's horror films. We did not talk about Aquaman. We did not talk about Fast 7. I haven't seen either one. Justin has seen both. I'm sure he enjoys both.
I do. Love Aquaman.
Yeah, I haven't seen either one of them. Neither, you know, I'm not big into like some of those properties, so it's no knock on, you know, James Wan or the, you know, the fans of those movies. It's just never been like my cup of tea. But that tells you what kind of filmmaker James Wan is, that he was literally a horror director. And they were like, we want you to make a big budget action movie. Now we want you to make a big budget superhero movie. That tells you that a lot of people believe in him. And horror shot him to the top. And now he can make any movie he wants. Any movie.
The one thing about Aquaman, I'll say this, is the fact that he can make underwater scenes look believable, or the way he was able to do it. I'm like, this is why I love James Wan. So one of the reasons, but love it.
Yeah, I eagerly await every horror project he is even attached to, especially if he's the director. If he's the director, sign me up. But even if he's just a writer, I'm like, I'm on board. So
he's got that TV show coming out on Netflix, which I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
Crying real quick. He says, "Did you see the final girls with Tesa Farmiga?" Yes. You did?
I did not.
Oh, you got to see it. I loved it. I think it's such a great one. So a lot of fun.
I love her. I think she's a really good actress too.
Me too. I agree.
But now we're going to turn this over to the chat, guys. We're going to open this up, a little Q&A, little back and forth, a little chatty chat. We're going to talk to you for, 20 minutes or so. Open this thing up. What questions do you guys have? What concerns do you have? What comments do you have? What do you got?
Ask away. Comment away.
Yeah. And Ali, I totally get it, man. They're not for everyone. And I know that genre, that subgenre of horror, paranormal and stuff like that has been done to death. It definitely has been done to death. I just think
some of the best.
I think he's just done fantastic with it. Candyman. Yes. Candyman comes home on demand on Friday.
Oh, I love it.
Probably rent it. I don't know. I might wait till the physical media. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Antonis, I saw your video about Jeepers Creepers 4 coming out in November. So when do you think we will get a trailer? All right, guys. So there's a channel on this here YouTube, and it's called Critical Overlord. And I watch his videos. I'm a subscriber of his, and he has been doing some deep digging on Jeepers Creepers 4, and he's gotten videos on set. He's gotten photos on set. I have a photo on my phone right now of the creeper from Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I want to show it to you guys. I want to pull it up. You know what?
Pull it up, because I want to see this. I have not seen this yet.
I'm going to do it. I really, really, really hope that YouTube doesn't flag me for this. I really hope.
Well, do you want to send it to me, or do you want to?
No, I want to show everyone this, because I want everyone's opinion on it. Let me make sure it doesn't crop too much. Okay, guys. So I'm going to put this up here right now, and I'm not. Oh my God, no, not that one. Hey there, guy. What's up, buddy? I'm going to put this up here right now, and I just want to warn you guys that I hope YouTube doesn't come for me. But this is a confirmed look at the creeper. This is his design in Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Wow.
I do not like the face he's making.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike the makeup.
No.
I just don't like the face the actor's making.
I can't. Is his mouth open? Like his mouth?
Yeah, he's like
open.
snarling.
Yeah. You're not a fan of not a fan of the face that he's making, but maybe.
But the makeup is not bad. You know, the head looks good. It looks.
Sadly, I don't think we're going to get Jonathan Brecht back in there. But
no, we are not. But anyway, back to what you were saying, Antonis. The Jeepers Creepers 4, for anyone who hasn't watched my video, Jeepers Creepers 4 is coming out November 2nd. That is a Tuesday. So it's going to be a Fathom event like Rob Zombie's 31, Jeepers Creepers 3. It's going to be one of those events. A few days, limited release, and then it'll probably come home in physical media. It slipped out because it was on the Fandango app. If you have the Fandango app where you buy movie tickets and whatnot, it was showing the listing for it. And people were like, whoa, 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 you're showing a release date for Jeepers Creepers Reborn and a runtime and everything. Like, what the hell's going on? No, that's what's going on. And Critical Overlord, he emailed them and was like, hey, is this actually happening? Because it says it is. And I just, like, is this a mistake? And they emailed him back and they said, no, it's happening. We didn't want to announce it yet because we didn't want to step on the filmmaker's toes. But, the cat's out of the bag. It is coming November 2nd. Tickets will go on sale September 24th. So you can buy tickets for it, not this Friday, but next Friday. And it's coming out November 2nd. And I believe the rumor is that the trailer will be out to coincide with the announcement of that next Friday. So that's the news on Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
I will say this. I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to it. But the fact that they didn't get Jonathan Breck back. Now, for me, I think Jonathan Breck is like a Kane Hodder when it comes to Jason Voorhees. I think, and Robert Englund as, Freddy Krueger. I think the way he walks, the way he kind of uses his eyes, like all that stuff, his movement, everything about it, I think is great. We'll see how this new guy works out, but yeah, I'm sad we're not getting Jonathan Breck back though. Like,
me too. Jamie, I did not watch the Matrix 4 trailer. Did you, Justin?
I did, and her comment, she said she was pleasantly surprised. I was too. I didn't become a huge fan of those until later on, but this trailer sold me, so I'm looking forward to it. It looks great.
Well, I hope the fans of it, are looking forward to it because it's a big deal. I know it's a very popular series. It's been, gone for a while now. So
18 years. Crazy.
Yes, Alex, we've both seen Frailty with Bill Paxton, and we both really enjoy Frailty.
Love Frailty.
Jaden wants to know, what's your favorite pizza? For me, all I need is bacon. It's all I need. I mean, I guess I could go for sometimes I'll get pepperoni, extra cheese, but all I need is bacon. What about you, Justin?
Meat lovers or Supreme. Supreme without mushrooms. I'm not a mushroom fan, but meat lovers guy. I'm going to say meat lovers. So.
Do you like pineapple on pizza? I do, but I don't eat it on pizza a lot.
I'm not a fan. I mean, I've ate it. It's pretty good, but for me, no, not my go-to. Who crying? Was it crying? Who said Sorority Row? I love Sorority Row. I love that movie. I know it just had a birthday, so anniversary. Love Sorority Row.
T. Parker, yes. Double feature, American Horror Story. 90-minute episode this week.
Oh, we got 90-minute episode this week. Cool. Yep. I'm loving it.
Anyone know Kills will air at a specific time on release day for Peacock? Usually, it's 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, it'd be about 3 a.m. Yeah.
And is it a movie that I was going to ask you with Peacock? Are they going to charge people because I know there's like a
Peacock Premium.
Okay.
I don't know how much. I mean, I pay it. I think it's $9.99 a month or something like that. Yeah. If you have Peacock Premium, well, then you can watch it. Okay. Sorority Row. I don't like the remake. Yeah, Ali. I wasn't a fan of it. Crying likes it. Justin, you like it, right?
I love it. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Let's see. Matrix looks good. Are you guys caught up on AHS season 10? I'm not. I'm one episode behind. One episode behind because I have to watch it with her because we watch it together. And Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, she works. So she gets home from work as I'm going to bed at 1 a.m. It's usually when I go to bed when I have to work the next day is 1. So she's getting home and I'm going to bed. So we have very limited nights throughout the week that we can watch episodes together. Usually So we're usually caught up, but we're not this week because we've been watching Jersey Shore. You know, I talked to you guys about this, I think, last week on the live stream. She loves Jersey Shore. So whatever, you know, if she wants to, I let her pick. Okay. I'm not going to be the guy all the time that's like, I'm picking everything we're watching. She says I do that anyway. It's not true. She's a damn liar. But regardless, everyone talking about pineapple on pizza. Big question is, when are y'all going to do a watch along of Madman for you?
Ooh, love Madman.
I think November is going to be the perfect time for that. And I say that because we're wrapping up our Tuesday watch alongs over these next few weeks with like summer horror movies, like right before summer's over, you know, Friday the 13th movies like that. And then we're going right into October where every watch along is going to be a Halloween movie. So a Halloween movie or like Trick or Treat, you know, like something like that. It's going to be pertaining to October. We're going to be capitalizing on that. November is going to be a weird month because from November 1st to maybe the third week of November, we're not going to be talking about Christmas movies yet, horror movies yet, not until the day after Thanksgiving. That's when we will start tackling that. So there's going to be about 3 weeks in November where it's whatever topic you guys want. I mean,
I'll say this, Madman does take place over the holiday weekend or Thanksgiving weekend. You guys don't know this, but Madman, if you watch the movie, the kids are going home for Thanksgiving break. I don't know. So
that would be perfect.
There we go.
I have not seen the Puppet Kill movie trailer. I have not seen that. Have you heard of that?
I've never even heard of this, so I'm going to have to go check it out. Go watch it.
Don't Breathe 2 coming on 4K October 26th. Do I plan on getting it? I might want to watch it first. I'm going to watch it first and see if I like it first.
Crying asked me, Sorority Row, talk about it. Yeah, I love it. I just think it's a great and fun slasher film. I just always have a good time with it. You got a great killer. The look of his killer, the look of the killer is great. You got some great kills in that movie. And I really love the soundtrack. So yeah, it's just a super fun slasher film. So it needs more love, in my opinion. So,
Alex, I'm ready for everything Halloween, buddy. Everything.
Me too.
Ali, I love that you love Halloween 5, brother. That movie kicks ass. Love Halloween 5.
Yes, I love Halloween 5. I'm glad there's fans out there for it.
No crying. You don't have to. You got the playback. You'll be there in spirit. You know, still watch along with these if you're in bed when we're doing them. Horror is year round, Antonis. Don't worry. But in October, you got to keep it very specific. You got to really get those spoopy movies on. You know, the spooky ones. We got anything that takes place in October. You got leaves? Okay, here you go. You got pumpkins? All right, we're watching you. Okay, that's October for us.
This room's going to be decorated for October, so you're going to see a Halloween tree in the corner here.
Oh, I know. I've seen it before on your channel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep, I got it. I was like, I'm getting a Halloween tree. I got one last year, so it's coming back up.
Jay, that's interesting that you mentioned that because I went back and I started, I think, episode 1 of season 7. And there's no way I'm going to be able to. I might be able to get caught up in time. I don't know. We'll see. But I have started it again. Picked up from where I left off. So I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. Terrifier. I still haven't seen Terrifier.
Oh, I love it. It's brutal, but I love it. Ali,
Justin loves the Prom Night remake.
I do not love the Prom Night remake, but I actually really like the Prom Night remake. So
yeah, that's.
I know.
Yeah. You guys will deliver in October. Oh yeah, we will. You already know. October's going to be insane. Yes, it was tough to watch. That was for sure, Jay. It was tough. Can you do videos on Tubi horror picks?
What is Tubi?
It's I believe Tubi is a streaming. It's a streaming service, right? Or is it just a place? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a streaming service. It's not a bigger one. They have a lot of original content, and a lot of it's more B movie esque horror movies, but cult classic, cult following movies. I'm gonna look into it, Alex. I'm gonna look into getting Tubi. I want to see what they have on there. If I get it, and God knows I probably will, because I've every damn streaming service, and I don't know why I keep doing this myself. Like Shudder, I've got it. Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu Live TV. Yeah, I mean, I
got them too.
But yes, if I get it, yeah, I'll do a video talking about some of my favorite picks from it. Let's see.
Hey guys, I'm just saying, I saw Prom Night in theaters a week before my own prom. So,
Ali, I have seen Zombie.
Love Zombie.
And I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. And Christian wasn't lying when he said that Italian horror makes American horror look like Sesame Street, because that is disgusting. I mean,
wait till you see City of the Living Dead. Like I really can't watch that one too much. It's effective, but it's disgusting. Wait till you see that one.
Yeah, gore doesn't get under my skin. There's only a few movies ever in my entire life that I've watched that I'm like, this scene's hard to watch. One of them is the autopsy scene in Saw 4. I've talked about that before because it's very realistic when they're taking all of John Kramer's organs out. I think it's gross. Usually when it looks more real is when it gets under my skin.
Wait till you see City of the Living Dead.
Oh Lord. And then the Green Inferno. That's the only other movie that I can think of that I watched it and I was like, oh God, that's foul. Like Hostel, Saw, those movies are over the top. Those movies that's their point. That doesn't bother me. But when it looks real,
Green Inferno. Ugh.
Yeah, Green Inferno.
I can't watch it again. It gets in my head.
I'm so hyped. Candyman 2021 is coming to demand this Friday. I'm going to watch it because it's my most anticipated horror movie of 2021. Antonis, I think you'll enjoy it. I really do. I really liked it. Go in with an open mind, man, and just enjoy watching the Candyman slash people up with a hook. And now everyone's talking about yes, he saw Prom Night the week before prom. He did.
I did because I'm a horror movie fan. So, but I saw it a week before my prom.
Yes, Ollie. I'm not even a big zombie movie guy, and I really would say that Fulci's Zombie was one of my favorite zombie movies. So yeah, absolutely. The Green Inferno is gross. Everyone's talking about me not seeing Terrifier. Yeah, I haven't seen it because she hates clowns. Every time we've scrolled across it on Netflix, she like turns away and she's like, no. Which I don't understand because she can watch it. I'm like, that doesn't freak you out? She's like, it does, but it's different. I'm like, that makes no damn sense. But all right. I haven't seen Suicide Squad. He says I look like Rick Flag from the Suicide
Squad. You do. I was gonna say, you do.
Wow. Not gore, but the noodle and rice scene in Lost Boys. Oh yeah. Oh the maggots. Oh.
You eat it. He's like, what's the quote in the movie? It's like they're worms. What do you mean they're worms? They're noodles. Yeah.
You need to watch The Beyond, House by the Cemetery. Yeah, Christian's giving me a list. I've got a list. Believe me, I've been getting taken to school. I have not seen Train to Busan.
I haven't either.
I've heard really good things about it. Jaden wants to know, have y'all seen Audition? I have not.
Tried watching it. Not a fan. Sorry. Not
a fan. What kind of movie is it?
It's a Asian horror, which I love some Asian horror movies. But I wasn't a fan of that one. I tried getting into it. It's like a torture type of film.
Josh wants to know, how about Dead Alive?
Love it. Love it.
Oh, Sam just got off work. What's up,
Hey,
Triple
Sam.
Feature? Yeah, I've heard really good things about Train to Busan, though. And aren't they remaking it, like an American version of it?
I was hearing rumors of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually filming, or it's already filmed. I remember that it was well underway. Yeah, yep, it's getting an American remake. That's what I heard. Let's see, fire away. We got a few more. Oh, okay. So Sam, we'll give you our list from 7 to 1 of James Wan's horror movies. I love them all, but 7 was Dead Silence. 6 was Saw. 5 was Insidious Chapter 2. 4 was Malignant. 3 was Insidious. 2 was The Conjuring. 1 was The Conjuring 2.
Mine was 7 was Malignant. 6 was Insidious Chapter 2. 5 was Saw. Number 4 was Conjuring 2. Number 3 Insidious. Number 2 Dead Silence, and number 1 Conjuring.
Well, crying, Tony Todd is in the new Candyman. He was.
But that's all we'll say.
Yeah. Now, how much you're expecting to see of him, it's on you. But
All we'll say.
But yeah, guys. Wes, okay, what's your scariest James Wan scene in his whole body of work? You bastard.
That's tough.
Wes.
Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay. You want to go first?
You go first. I gotta think of this one.
So it goes back and forth between two things. It's either the scene in Insidious where Barbara Hershey's describing going into Dalton's room and she sees the thing in the corner and she's talking to it. Or it's in Conjuring where the little girl sees something behind the door, but we don't see what it is. That always gives me chills. So it's a toss-up between those.
Oh, man. Oh, man. This isn't going to be a popular opinion, I don't think. But they're both in the same movie. They're the scariest scenes in that movie for me, and probably my favorite. Anyway, whatever. One of them is when Lorraine falls through the wall to the basement in The Conjuring, and while she's down there, everything that happens down there is just eerie as hell. And then you got Bathsheba swinging across the room at her, and she's running, and you see the dead nurse, and that's creepy. And then the scene of the exorcism in The Conjuring. That exorcism scene, just gave me nightmares when I saw that movie. The laughing, her face is just disgusting. That is always stuck in my mind, her face. And the stuff she says, she's laughing like, give me my wife, like, God damn it. And she's like, she's already gone. And now you're all going to die. And it's just like,
creepy.
Oh, yeah, that stuff gets under my skin. Oh,
that's a great scene. That's one of my favorites.
Jay,
have a good night.
Yeah, see you later, Jaden. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Jaden wants to know what Ollie wants to know what our least favorite remake is. Probably The Fog. I hate that remake.
I'm gonna go Cabin Fever because I didn't.
Oh, Cabin Fever sucks too.
Waste of time.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
Waste of time with that one.
There are some really bad ones though, guys.
Yeah.
We did a remake episode a few months ago. We mainly talked about good ones, but near the end we did mention some pretty poopy ones. But yeah.
Sorry, I'm good. I don't know if you heard a bang. I'm good.
Bobby, favorite natural disaster movie? I guess they're natural disasters because they really can happen on that scale. I don't know, but either The Day After Tomorrow or 2012, because I think 2012 is so it's just a spectacle, man, and The Day After Tomorrow I think is too. So I love both of those movies. I love Twister as well.
So we're talking natural disaster. I guess one of my I don't know if it's a natural disaster one, but I've always been a big fan of Poseidon or even Poseidon Adventure. Like I'm a big fan of I love all disaster movies pretty much, but I love 70s disaster movies.
Yeah, 2012 was fun, Jay. I liked it too. T. Parker, you're absolutely right. You win. I don't know why I didn't mention this one. Black Christmas 2019, worst piece of shit remake I've ever seen.
Guys, my table fell crying. I'm so sorry. He went, whoa.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
I'm good. Sorry, guys, if your eardrums hurt or whatever. I apologize.
But yeah. I always had an affinity for Twister. I still love Twister.
I got to finish that. I've only seen parts of it, so I need to watch it.
I don't know if it's still there at Universal, but there was like, and someone can let me know if they've been there recently, but there was like a Twister experience type ride when I went there years and years and years ago. And you're like standing on this thing, and it's like 4D. It's like, it's one of those rides that's very like interactive in the sense of like, you have in front of you, it's like a gas station, like parking lot, and you got houses off in the distance, and you see the Twister like on this screen. And like there's a cow, and you got a bunch of wind blowing on you, and rain and lightning flashing, and it's like you're actually there, and like the platform you're on is like shaking and stuff like that. It was cool. It looked very real. In Orlando, Antonis, Orlando. Alex says James Wan should do a Silent Hill remake. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Bill Paxton does have some great movies, Wes. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we will do that.
I gotta really think about this list though.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at his IMDb though.
Bobby, what about Core with Hilary Swank? I haven't seen it.
Never seen that one.
Brooke wants to know least favorite twist ending.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one. But I could think of it. Oh, I had something in my head.
Black Christmas 2019.
Did it have a twist ending? I didn't like that movie. I don't know if that is a.
They tried to make it a twist, yeah.
They did, yeah. See, I blanked out so much of that movie. I'm gonna say. Okay, I haven't seen it in a long time, guys. So The Village.
Oh yes.
Yeah, The Village.
It's The Village, hands down. That was the movie that made people turn on M. Night Shyamalan. That was the movie.
Yep.
Oh, I hated that twist. I hated that so much.
Yep. That one right there. And it was like midway too. It wasn't like at the end. It was midway. Like
and it was
the first twist.
The first half of the movie, damn near 2/3 of the movie is freaking scary.
It is.
Then you get the twist, and you're like, "Oh, this is dumb as hell."
Yeah. Bobby, I hate it. You what?
I haven't seen Fantasy Island.
I hated Fantasy Island. I hated that movie. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. But, all right, guys. We've gone over the 2-hour mark. I need to go get some dinner and then get ready for bed. So, I want to thank everybody for being in here tonight. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to Justin and myself. Leave a like on the video. If you're watching back on the playback, comment in the comments and let us know what you thought of our lists. I will be posting a poll tonight for our live watch along tomorrow night, as we always do on Tuesdays. And go ahead and watch my latest video about the Halloween Kills first reviews and Jeepers Creepers 4 release date news. If you haven't watched it already, and check out Justin's latest videos. I believe you did a Blu-ray haul, didn't you?
I did Blu-ray haul, and before that, I talked about some James Wan movies. Again,
I watched the James Wan one. I haven't watched the Blu-ray haul one yet.
All right. Well,
but to all of you guys that were in here, thank you so much. Leave a like on the stream. You guys rock. To my new subs, I love you. To my old subs, I love you. To everyone that was in here, you guys rock. We hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night.
We love you guys.
All right. See ya.